Welcome to Not Starving Artist, the podcast. I'm your host, Brooke Benson, money coach and equity actor. I am your financial cheerleader, here to help you build your financial confidence and have power over your money. The best part, no budgeting or bi-weekly paychecks required. I went from being a broke BFA grad having weekly panic attacks about money to a financially confident, wealth-building actor and business owner. Money gets to feel fun, simple, and sexy, and I am going to show you how. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another installment of my podcast series, Inside One-on-One Coaching. Now, I've done one of these series before, and what you're about to hear is a real-life coaching call with me. Why I wanted to do this series again is because I think it's really important for you all to hear how money gets talked about behind closed doors. Now, just so you're aware, every single person who you are about to hear inside of this series has consented to being on the podcast. They came into the recording knowing exactly what these recordings would be used for. So with these coaching calls, there's a few reasons why I want you to hear them. One is because I think it's important to hear that we all have so many of the same money narratives that we're trying to work through, financial struggles that we're trying to work through, right? You're not special, but in the best way, right? In the most liberating way. That's one of the reasons I want you to hear these. The second thing is I want you to hear how much we can accomplish, whether it be mindset or tactical, can be accomplished in just 30 minutes. Each of these coaching calls was a 30-minute coaching call. And most of these people I had never worked with before. So I want you to hear how much we get through in just 30 minutes. And I want you to hear that as just 30 minutes of intentional focused time on your money can yield so much results. Okay? There's this huge misconception that getting your money shit together is going to take hours and hours and hours and so much time and energy and all of this stuff. And sure, maybe some methods, maybe some financial advice that is out there. Yes, that would be the case. Not here at Not Starving Artist, baby. We got too much art and too much change in the world to do to let money take up too much of our life. So I'm so excited for you to hear these coaching sessions. If you yourself are interested in one-on-one coaching with me, you can find all of the details at the link in the show notes. You can also find it at notstarvingartist.com under the tab One-on-One Money Mentorship. Now let's get into it.
Hello.
Hello. Is it Karina? Am I pronouncing that right?
Yes. Hi. Can you see me there, Brooke?
Hi, I can. Karina, it's so nice to meet you.
You too. I'm loving your work on social medias, girl.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. So talk to me a little bit about who you are and what you do. I read your form, but I'd love to hear from you now.
Yeah, in a nutshell, grew up in Florida, been doing theater my whole life.
We're in Florida.
Tampa Bay area.
Okay, I used to live in Sarasota.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes. That's amazing. Do you work at the theaters in that area?
I used to, but about 7 months ago, I moved to New York.
Oh my gosh, that's right. I forgot you're a New York transplant. Ditto.
I'm a transplant. Yes.
Amazing. That's so great.
Yeah, but I've bit bopped all over for a while. So I did my undergrad in Virginia. I toured with children's theaters for a long time. I went and did my master's out in Ireland for a few years and came back to Florida, and now I'm a city girl.
That's amazing. Okay,
Thank you.
so let's dive right in. What do you want
Let's.
coaching on today?
Well, I wanted to just meet you and get a feel. Um, and I just wanted to see I feel like we have very similar kind of narratives and stories, and I'm curious what ticked for you, if there's almost well, obviously advice, but anything that I can lean into that I might not know yet. Does that make sense?
Sure. So tell me a little bit more about, are you talking specifically money-wise as an artist?
Sure, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
So as a jumping off point, tell me for you right now, what feels sticky or not fantastic about your money as an artist?
The inconsistency.
Sure. Okay.
So that kind of lack of security and having to put my energies into other ways of work to just make ends meet. And then I feel like I get that bit of creative detachment when I don't do it for a while.
Sure. And what has the transition for you to New York looked like in that respect?
So my vision up here is I'm I've made peace with putting performing on the back burner for now just because I'm in new transplant survival mode. I'm very happy in the restaurant that I'm currently working in, but I actually just sat my first real estate exam last week and passed. So
Congrats.
thank you. So my plan is to go into real estate. I understand like the freelance life, so I think I could suit well in that and make some big girl money, as I'm calling it. And I'm hoping that I can transition from restaurants into real estate in the next year or two, and then that can give me space to start auditioning again.
For sure. So let's talk about the detachment that
Mm.
comes from. Tell me more about how you've experienced that artistic detachment.
Um, for me, it feels very much like all or nothing. I can go and audition and I can get the jobs and all of that, but once I'm doing that, it's really that's just it. And if I need to really make money, I find myself having to go into other work.
Mm-hmm. I
So,
think that's what we need to work on.
hmm
I think that right there.
yeah.
Because when it comes to, I mean, all or nothing thinking, that's a thought pattern that then bleeds into every area of your life, right? It
hmm
doesn't just show up in one area.
hmm
So let's look at specifically how it's showing up with your ability to do art and make money. Why we
hmm
want to heal that is because it's creating this dynamic where it's like you're financially stable or you're artistically fulfilled, and we can't
Yes,
have both at the same time, and we don't
correct.
want that relationship. So, what makes it feel hard to do both at the same time?
Uh, Not enough hours in the day.
Mhm.
Being 35 years old, trying to balance. Not getting burned out because I've been down that road plenty of times.
Yeah. When did the burnout happen? How did the burnout happen?
That's an all life thing. That's too many extracurriculars in my adolescence, and then just thinking that that's the norm, that I must be burnt out and stressed out at all times to be successful in this way.
Okay. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with the burnout, let me ask
Mm.
this. How is the burnout feeling consistently? How is that feeling supporting your artistic success? Why I'm asking it that way
Mm.
is because if you truly love your art, which it sounds like you do,
Mm.
anything that's happening in your life is sneakily supporting it,
Mm.
right? So, how
Mm.
do you feel that burnout energy is supporting your artistic career?
I I honestly think it's an old-fashioned mindset that I have tried to put healthy distance in between, but I think it's that whole mentality of like, if you're not running yourself into the ground, you're not doing it right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. So I think we need to create a new narrative for you, like a mantra, a manifesto. Um,
Mm.
I teach my clients in my group program called Cashed Up Creatives, their cashed up manifesto, right? The thing that anchors you and that you desire to integrate, right, into your being. So I
Mm.
want to create a manifesto for you around what being a full-time artist looks like and means for you, right?
Mm.
So if being a full-time artist has previously meant running yourself into the ground, every extra hour you have, you're either making money to be able to act later, or you're figuring out every possible to-do list thing you could do in order to act now,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if that's
Yeah.
the previous one, what comes up for like what you want being a full-time artist to mean or look like?
I mean, certainly, uh, creative passion, feeling fulfilled in the work that I'm choosing to do as
Mhm.
well. My projects are important to me. Um, but then again, it does all come back to money. So it's like, how can I do this and only this and not feel like I have to fall back on these crutches, like service or whatever, that's just been like a 20-year narrative at this point.
Sure. So let's switch up your relationship with
Mm.
making money and what making money means about you as an artist, right? So it's
Yeah.
interesting that your money making avenues are seen as crutches
Mm.
rather than this is something I'm excited about making money doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing my art. Not like they're a little bit divorced, right? Where it's not
Yes.
like I'm doing this so I can be an artist because that
Mm-hmm.
creates a dissonance or resistance between the two.
Sure.
So, what is they're being seen as crutches because you're not allowing yourself to be an artist while you make money. So, what if you start going to one audition a week or you set aside 2 hours a week to be an artist while you're doing your restaurant job? What comes up as I say that?
Certainly not impossible.
Hmm? But what's the
Yeah.
resistance?
Um, hmm. I don't know. I think it's again, it's that all or nothing
Mhm.
of like,
It's
well,
not enough.
if I get something, then I have to leave everything else that I've been working towards.
Sure. Let's play that out. Okay, so
Mm.
let's say you're going to an audition a week. You
Mm-hmm.
get something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you get what, like an acting contract somewhere
Mm-hmm.
out of
Mm-hmm.
the state.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 10-week contract.
Mm-hmm.
What happens? Like, what do you have to leave behind to go do that 10-week contract?
The apartment, find someone to sublet and say thank you, goodbye to restaurant job.
Mm-hmm. And then you come back, what happens?
I'd probably get my job back.
Uh-huh. And the sublet moves out.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
Yeah. And then do it all over again.
Mhm. What's coming up as you like walk that through?
What a notion. Yeah. No, I mean well, I think yeah, and I think the blinders are on just because again, I'm just getting adjusted to
Mhm.
this city.
Sure.
Um and I didn't want to overwhelm myself, so that's why I haven't really jumped in right away. But I guess there's nothing wrong with it.
Um, I always say, like, let's put a good problem in front of you rather than being stressed about, like, what problem could possibly arise. So instead of, like, oh, what if I get a contract and I'm not ready and I have to leave all this stuff behind and then it kind of fucks me up? Like, well,
Hmm.
what if we just get an offer on the table that then you get to choose yes or no to? Like, that's a
Yeah.
much better problem to have on
Hmm.
the table.
Hmm. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good like mental shift that like yeah, it takes talking to someone who gets it to kind of
Yeah.
put it in that perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I do think we're staying here for so long because
Hmm.
what's happening right now in
Hmm.
this arena is what's affecting your ability to make money, make more money, save money, actually like focus
Hmm.
and like get systems in place for your inconsistent income, which we'll talk about in a second.
Sure.
But this is the core of it.
Hmm.
So I see so many actors and artists and creatives move to the city. There's like an overwhelm that comes with being here. Like again, I just moved here 2 years ago, right? And
Okay.
definitely felt that.
Yeah.
So, and I moved from Florida as well. I was in Denver before, but I was mainly in Florida. Um,
Nice.
and so what happens is they'll say, I'm just going to get my foundation, I'm going to get my footing, and I'm not even going to audition yet. But then what happens is you never really feel ready or feel settled enough to actually dive in. And right, it becomes this all or nothing.
Hmm.
So then you get comfortable in like building your foundation rather than trickling in, right? Like not overwhelming yourself. The
Hmm.
overwhelm only comes from I have to go to every single EPA and I have to get an agent, which means I have to go to all these workshops and then I have to get myself in class. And now 30 hours of your week are gone
Right.
on top
Right.
of a job. Of
Yeah.
course, that's overwhelming.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
one day a week, one audition a week, right? Like that's so much more manageable for your brain. The only reason you
Sure.
resist that is because your brain tells you that's not enough. So what's the point?
Right.
And what's the point energy is the death of all success.
Sure.
What's coming
Sure.
up for you there?
No, I mean I'm having a couple of little kind of flashbacks because I've done a lot of I've done a lot of spiritual work around finances, and
Mm,
I've done a lot of reading, I've done writing, a lot of exercises, and it's reminding me of I've done this. What does being a full-time artist look like, feel like, all of this, get specific. And it's funny because I am going to look back after we're done talking because I know I've done this exercise and I want to see what's still there, maybe what's changed, because it's probably about 4 years ago now I started doing this work.
yep.
So maybe it's different. So I'm kind of curious to see maybe what might be more important to me now, or kind of, get into that a little bit, see what's
Yeah.
going on.
And yeah, that will be really interesting to look back
Mm-hmm.
on what you said years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now what I want to offer you
Mm.
is making peace with the fact that being a full-time artist might not mean making all of your income from your art. And how can you make that a delicious, beautiful thing? Because
Mm-hmm.
what will happen if you don't make peace with that is that every moment you are doing anything else for income or anything outside of your art, it's going to feel like you're not there yet. And that pulls you
Yeah.
out of the present.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's coming up there?
No, no, no. I mean, I get it because I've been living this life. So I understand that I understand that there's work that is necessary to survive.
Mhm.
I understand that. And it's not having a resentful relationship with that. It's understanding that this specific income's purpose is to keep the roof over my head, and that is fine. And I will show up and exchange my time for money. Like, that's totally cool. But,
And I also want to like point out too that you took your real estate exam, right? I'm assuming the thought is I would like to make more money and do move away from this restaurant job and have an up level financially.
correct.
Yeah. So
That's
that's
the
huge too.
absolute motivation. Yeah.
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 Cool. So like you're already doing that as well. So it's not like this
Mhm.
is as broken as if this isn't broken, it's just
Right.
clocking into like subtle shifts that might be blocking more money or more artistic fulfillment while you make money.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I have two more things to say, but
Okay.
before my brain like goes in multiple directions, which one
I
do I want to go
know.
first?
Sorry if I'm like overwhelming.
No, no, this is good. What I want to actually ask now is talk to me tactically about your dollars. So you've done emotional work around finances. The
Mhm.
inconsistency is what's feeling frustrating. So tell me like
Mhm.
tactically what's happening with the money.
Tactically, I am very adamant about giving a certain percentage of everything that I make every month to my mom for back pay for student loans.
Mhm.
I also give 15% to my own debt as well. And this is within the last year. So, I mean, and now that it's become a habit, it feels really good because I know that every week, every month, I'm doing something to better my debt, better my credit, etc. Feels grown up, if you
Mhm.
will.
Mhm.
But again, it's also that I am doing okay and keeping afloat, but I know that I could be doing so much more, and that gets
Mhm.
frustrating.
Doing so much more. What does that look like?
Financially, just like
Yeah.
what I see in my account, I know I can have more. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm frustrated that it's not there.
Mm-hmm. And what does the block there feel like it's coming from?
Um, the the resistance, I think a lot of it is I still have issue around, say, like sometimes family or even perfect strangers' opinions of the life of an artist. That bothers me. Because then
Mm-hmm.
it's like, well, no, you don't understand. Now I'm just going to prove you, blah, blah, blah. And I know that's not healthy. I know that's not good. So, yeah, I think it's that disappointment of like, oh, okay, well, maybe they're right kind of thing.
Okay, I hear you.
Hmm.
So with like the dollars in your bank account, staying
Mm.
afloat but wanting more, what does that life of more look like for you?
It looks, number one, debt free,
Mm-hmm.
the relief of that. Um, And honestly, it looks like travel. That's my favorite thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about how you spend money and save money. So you have your system where like
Mm-hmm.
15% is going to debt, certain percentage is going to
Mm-hmm.
back paying
Yep.
student loans.
30% is going in savings.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Um, and I'm really not like a huge spender by any means. If I need something, I will go out and I will find it. But I feel confident that I live very much within my means.
Yeah.
And 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 I'm always saving for my next trip because I always want to have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
So even if it's one a year, or if I'm lucky, sometimes more, I'm always working towards something fun to put my money towards.
Yeah. So what do you want the numbers in your bank account to look like? Like what is the gap feeling like right now?
The gaps feeling like hmm I mean at least 150K more. At
Okay.
least.
How much is in your savings account right now?
About 2 months of my rent. So about just under 3 grand.
Okay, cool.
Hmm.
Why does 150K feel safe?
Uh, Probably because that was roughly my amount of debt coming out of undergrad.
It like student loan debt plus?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Tell me more about that correlation between savings and your student loan debt.
It just feels like a never-ending road, you know? Um, so I think that just stays because I mean it's a heavy thing and a lot of people know about it. And I think especially the older we get, it's like we can see that it's getting closer, but it's still looming.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
know, so it's like, oh my God, I've been busting my ass for the last 15 years and it's still there. Like,
Okay.
you know.
So there's a little bit of debt shame release that needs to happen, and
Mm-hmm.
also getting clear on what you actually want in savings. Because right
Mm,
now, the it's I want more feeling is
yeah.
coming from fuck, fuck, fuck. I still have this looming thing. Let me just get ahead, right? There's like a rush energy to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is making you feel like you aren't there yet, which is
Mm-hmm.
then causing the artistic detachment. So,
Mm-hmm.
talk to me about how much is left on your student loans.
Ooh, I was just thinking about this and what was it? It's getting better. It's probably at about, I believe it's right around 35,000 right now.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
It's big. It's big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you taken time to celebrate that and acknowledge how big of a deal it is that you've paid off that much of your student loans?
Well, not really, because like there's then like the almost like guilt about it that I'm still like paying my mom back. Like I don't feel like I have done it, that kind of way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, and when you say $35 is left on the student loan itself, and is there more that you owe?
It just like back pay to my mom essentially. So I mean, I'm probably somewhere in about 60 at least that I still owe between her and the
Okay.
balance.
Cool. So even
Mm-hmm.
that, right? That means you have paid off
Mm-hmm.
$90,000
Yeah.
of a student loan
Yeah.
as an artist?
Well, not all the time, but yeah.
Ah, ah, ah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did you just clock what you just said?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna repeat that back to you, where I said, as an artist, you paid $90,000 off of your student loan, and you said not all the time. What do you mean,
Mm.
not all the time, an artist?
I guess just because that's not where the money was stemming from.
Sure. So this just tells me even more why you need to be an artist while you make money
Mm.
in other ways, why you need to go to an audition a week, or why you
Yeah.
need to have I do Fridays as my actor CEO day. I have no calls. Fridays, fully actor days. No matter what is happening in my life, I am self-taping or I'm reading scripts or I'm going out to see a show. Something
Mm,
happening to fuel me one time a week because I run
love
a
it.
full-time business and it's really easy
Right,
to forget that
right.
I'm an artist if I don't have auditions that week, but that time is sacred. So I never have the thought, I'm not an artist right now.
Yeah, I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I'm gonna start doing that.
You are an artist who paid off $90,000 loan.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, taking time to even say those sentences to yourself is going
Mm,
to be huge.
yeah.
Of
Yeah.
like all of the financial things you accomplished as an artist. You moved yourself to New York as an artist.
Yeah. Yeah.
You passed your real estate exams as an artist to increase your income. You got a job that fully pays your bills as an artist.
Yeah.
These are all huge. So many artists can't even get here.
Yeah. Oh, I know that. I know that. Yeah. Yeah. I think there could definitely be some more like time for celebration.
For sure.
Yeah.
For
Thank
sure.
you.
Yeah. So with the student loans
Mm,
and then with the credit card, right? So we're starting with, wow, look how far you've come.
mm-hmm.
And now we need to even release some more shame or weight around the debt even more. So
Mm-hmm.
this is what I recommend to everyone. I'm actually going to give you another podcast episode to listen to.
Please
Um,
do.
so
Yes.
this is on the Not Starving Artist podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's an episode called Make Debt Payoff Easy and Inevitable.
Okay.
So you can Google that. It's on Apple, Spotify, or
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. It'll pop
Yep.
up. One of the things I talk about in this episode is that just paying the minimums will inevitably pay off your credit card debt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
is 15% of your income the minimum of your credit card payment?
Yeah, and I mean, and truth be told, outside of student loans, I have no credit card debt. My credit card score is excellent. My
Oh,
credit.
amazing. So we're
Yeah.
just talking about student loan debt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we even need to add another thing to the win list, right?
Okay.
As an artist, I have no
Yeah.
credit card debt.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying to completely ignore your student loan debt. Keep
Mm-hmm.
making your minimum payments to your mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
The balance, right? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Keep doing the bare minimum for that.
Mm-hmm.
But student loans and how student loans function in this country are not your fault. That is a systemic problem, right?
Sure.
So to carry the weight of someone else's fuck up, sure, you're going to make the payments, right? Like you have
Mm-hmm.
them, they're the numbers, this is the math. Sure, let's make the payments. But at the end of the day, the weight of that doesn't have to be on your shoulders. That's
Mm-hmm.
nothing about you. What's coming up
Okay.
for you there?
I was having a conversation with a good friend last night, and it was the whole thing of who, like, I was 17 years old making that crazy financial decision. Like,
Right.
we had no business. They had no business allowing us to do that. And like,
Absolutely not.
and then we come out and it's like, this is the world that we live in, and it's just like, oh my gosh, having no idea really what we were up against, and not having the full brain power or understanding to know what I was getting myself into at
Sure.
17, 18.
So
Mm.
here is the letter that I want you to write to your $150,000 of student loans.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to someone else, I was coaching someone else on this as well. I want you to fall in love with how much money you spend on your education.
Okay.
Because right now there's a lot of resentment and anger, right? Of like, who
Mm.
let me sign away that loan? And like a BFA, does it mean much? I mean, yeah, sure on paper, but not
Yeah.
really, right? But I want you to fall in love with what you spent that money for.
Mm-hmm.
What's coming up immediately as I say that?
Oh my gosh, I mean, I loved where I went for undergrad, like top 10 school. They prepared me well. I'm a very confident auditioner. I feel like that's the best gift they gave me.
Um,
Like,
yeah,
worth it just for that.
right. spend time there in your journal, like writing a letter to that debt, thanking it for everything it gave you, every experience you can remember, every skill
Mm,
it gave you. Just soak in the gratitude of what you spent money on.
I love that. Yeah.
And then every time you hit make payment, right, to either the student
Mm-hmm.
loan company or your mom, right? I
Mm-hmm.
want you to think about this letter. You could read it back or say
Mm-hmm.
out loud, thank you so much for what you gave me as you hit submit payment.
Yeah. I love that. I
Yeah.
will definitely do that. Thank you.
Of course. Because
Yay.
anything in your financial life that feels like, ugh, like a
Mm-hmm.
little bit weightier, a little bit stickier, a little bit resistant, you
Mm-hmm.
clean that up quick. So even if you're paying like a medical bill or like a tax
Mm.
bill, you got to figure out how to make that feel like this is easy, this is good. I love
Right.
spent money on this.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. No, I love reinforcing that frame of mind and new little kind of avenues to look down. So thank you so very much.
Of course. It was so lovely to get to coach you today, Karina.
It was great to meet you, and don't get me wrong, I'm following you. I'm loving like all the courses and everything. You will see me again.
I love that so much. I look forward to
Good
it.
luck to you. All
Thank you. You too.
right.
Bye,
Take care.
Karina.
Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Come join me on Instagram for more on how to build a simple, sexy relationship with your money. My Instagram handle is @NotStarvingArtists. And if you want to dive deeper with me, head to the show notes to learn more about one-on-one coaching. If you love this episode, subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend that you want to get rich with.